3, 2, 1, and here we go. Juan, the Kraken, Adams. How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
Good, brother. Good, man. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on here to do this thing, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get you on. So, for those of y'all who don't know, Juan is the newest heavyweight. Has there been anybody signed since, or are you the newest
I heard
contender?
there might have been a guy signed in Poland since, but I'm the newest American heavyweight. Youngest American heavyweight
There you go.
as well, so there we go.
Youngest probably in the division. Is there anybody else in the division younger than you?
Yeah, Tai Tuivasa out of Australia or New Zealand, wherever he's from. He's a little younger. I think he's 24, about to turn 25.
Okay.
So. But I'm the youngest American heavyweight.
10-4. Heavyweights, for whatever reason, 33 to 38 seems to be that sweet spot. In the past few years, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. When you've only been professionally fighting since 2016?
No, my pro debut actually was June 24th of 2017.
Okay, so even sooner than that. Wow.
Yeah, a little over a year. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's a fast track. So 4-0?
Yeah, 4-0 as a pro, 4-0 as an amateur, just
all knockouts, just destroying, mauling dudes.
One was a submission, dude tapped to strikes, but it was one guy tapped to strikes, but
yeah, man. So I saw you fight, man. I couldn't tell you the date. I think it may have been around November last year or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was at the Houston Arena Theater with LFA, and you fought some dude out of California, looked like he just got out of Chino. Some long-haired Mexican guy, I don't know, but you destroyed him in like minute 20 seconds or something like that, man.
Yeah. That was Bryce Vitani Co. And he was actually got replaced on he was a 4-week notice replacement.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect because he had fought it he used to cut from 300, and I didn't know he had gone vegan since then. So he was actually in the process. He only weighed in at 230, and but man, he hit hard. He hit me. I was like, oh shit, that kind of hurt. I'm not. And that was a weird night though, because my buddy, that was the night that guy. His heart stopped in the cage, and that threw me way off. It was right after Harvey and everything.
Yeah, he was from Paradigm, right?
He had trained in Paradigm a few times, my buddy CJ, but, he was all right. He ended up being okay and everything, but they just kind of threw everyone off that night.
Yeah.
So.
You're right. It was a whole different feeling after that scary situation, and that's the first time I took my wife to the fights.
Oh, yeah.
And I told you a little bit before, but I started training with Charles Cheeks and Dominic Castillo down there at Press Forward and Leaks in Friendswood, and I'd been training for a year or whatever, and I did a smoker, and I was trying to get into it a little bit, and then of course we go to those fights, and that guy did that. My wife's looking at me, she's like, no way. So, just our luck that night. But yeah, man. So you grew up in Houston.
Yeah. Went to Roberts Elementary, T.H. Rogers Middle School, and Strake Jesuit for high school. So,
10-4. And when did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling my freshman year of high school at Strake. Crazy thing, I thought I was going to go play collegiate football.
Mm-hmm.
Broke my hand first game of my senior year. Only ended up playing in 3 games total. And
wow. How big were you then? Senior year of high school.
I was about 6'4", walking around about 295, 296.
Oh, wow,
so
yeah.
I weighed the same, but I was just composed a little differently.
Yeah.
But so then I got injured, and they told me I was gonna have to walk on if I wanted to play D1, and wrestling opportunity came up and they told me I could earn a scholarship, so I went up there, wrestled my first year, wasn't on scholarship or anything, earned a scholarship, went on to become a 2-year team captain there. So
wow, and that's Virginia Military Institute?
Yep, VMI. So
what does that consist of? I don't know that I've ever talked to anybody from a military college.
Man, it's rough, man, because it's not really. It's not one of the the prima donna academies, so they try like much harder to be a harder school than them. So it's intense. It's definitely intense for sure. It's one of those schools you don't have to commission from. So, you get a choice. And so there's commissioning cadets and non-commissioning cadets, and I was clearly non-commissioned. So I actually almost accepted a contract to join the Army, and then I got injured wrestling, and it delayed it. And I came home, got a little taste of freedom. First time I could ever grow a beard, and I was like, yeah, you know what, this isn't it for me. This is so I liked freedom a little bit too much.
Yeah, 10-4. What position you play in football?
I actually played. I was primarily a defensive player, so I played D tackle a lot, and then they moved me to offensive tackle. And every time, that's where I got hurt. Just wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
And actually, after college, I had an NFL tryout, and they had me trying out at DN, but I was so like inconsistent with that stuff.
Yeah,
I ran a 40, I ran 140 in like a 4.7, 4.8. The next one I ran, I tripped. It was so bad. So they were just
they're throwing the paper away on this guy. Yeah,
it's gonna take another year. That's when I was like, screw it. I accepted my first amateur fight, and the rest is history.
Well, the first thing when I seen you walk in, big. You're a big boy.
Yeah.
You're big, man. And it's just you see guys on TV, you see the big guys, whatever. When I'm standing in person, I'm not a small guy myself. I'm 6'1", 300 myself, right?
Right.
But looking at you, I'm like, damn, yeah, that's an athlete right there. So you got the build for it, man. I'm excited to see how this fight career goes for you.
Yeah, me too.
When did MMA come into the fold? Like, when did that start popping into your mind?
It really, I started watching it in high school. It was right when Anderson Silva was making, his run of title defenses, and Brock Lesnar jumped into it. And so I was really into it then. When I would come home, I started training at Paradigm. I actually wrestled for their national team after my senior year of high school. And then I left. And I didn't even think twice. And I came back to train to get summer training in between my sophomore and junior year of college. And at that point, I was like, I would take over coaching wrestling classes from time to time, and I would help the fighters. I would give them privates and stuff like that. So that's when I kind of started getting the seed. The seed was planted in my head. And then between my junior and senior year, I was doing cardio kickboxing classes and stuff. And then between my first senior year and second senior year of college, I started actually learning the basics of fundamentals, because I wanted to learn how to better coach guys. I wanted to help them integrate their striking and their wrestling a little better. So I figured I should learn the fundamentals of it, and that's when I really got hooked on it.
Yeah.
So then after my second senior year, it was always in the back of my head, but I figured if you get a chance to play in the NFL, you take it.
Yeah.
I tried it, didn't work out, and so January of 2016 is really when it was just figured I would give it my all to do this.
Time, huh?
So I just went for it, and at the time I was working 6 jobs. I was working. I was running I was head of security at a nightclub in Midtown, and I was staffing security at a couple places. And then I became general manager of a nightclub. On top of that, I was working. I got a key for if you got to go. Yeah. So I was working that. I was coaching at the gyms, coaching at a middle school, coaching at a high school.
Wow.
And then I was working at a bank part-time as well as a loan coordinator. So I was doing all kind of stuff. I had my hand
hustling.
everywhere. I was hustling, but now then those slowly started to fall by the wayside. 6 jobs, went to 4, went to 3, went to 2, and then once I got sponsored, once I got sponsored on a livable wage, then that's when I quit and just started training full time. June of this year, so June 13th was my last day in corporate America. So,
well, congratulations, man. It's been like I said. I watched 2 fights of you, right, and then I watched some highlights when after you made the cut in this last UFC, I was like, let me go check this guy out a little bit more, right? Find out a little bit more about you. What has been kind of the biggest, I don't know, challenge, transition, going from the wrestling into the MMA training? I mean, what are some things that you're really trying to work on and improve on?
Biggest thing is that I had to change my stance a lot. So in wrestling, I was a right leg lead. MMA, I'm a left leg lead, obviously. And, the biggest thing is learning to really pace. The pacing is a lot different. The distance is a lot different as well. So in wrestling, you want to be up on the guy all the time.
Yeah.
Especially the way I wrestled, I was always pressuring the guy. I wanted to physically break my opponent, know. And so learning how to kind of tone that down for MMA and, maintain your distance, learn the different distances, head movement, motion. The motion is a lot different. I have to be a lot lighter on my feet for MMA than I am for wrestling. I have to move a lot more. And, kind of gauging. So in wrestling, you're real heavy on that front foot. And MMA, that's not necessarily a good thing. So there's little things like that. So just rewiring the nuances and everything. And then also knowing, when to pull that trigger and turn my wrestling on. You know, a lot of times guys will bait you, and that's how you see a lot of wrestlers getting, uppercut and kicked in the head, kneed in the face.
Yeah.
I don't like all that. So,
Too pretty for all that, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I had to learn all that stuff, but things that carried over were, that drive, that work ethic. When I was still working all those jobs, I had the same training regimen. I woke up 4:45, 5 o'clock every morning, drove out to Katy, do my striking. From there, I would go work 8 to 2. If whatever I was coaching was in season, I'd go straight from there to the school. Or if they didn't practice till 4 that day, I would go straight from my job to the gym, do my strength and conditioning, then go run a practice, go through practice with those guys, and then go back and do technique, and then not technique or sparring the night. So I was training 3 times a day, and now I get to pace it a little bit more, have more of a consistent schedule and everything. But
so was there somebody kind of guiding you through all this stuff when you first starting out, or did you kind of go find your own striking coach, your own?
So at first I had no clue what to do, and, and I had been given privates here and coaching at this gym at Paradigm for forever. So I asked those guys, and I was gonna have to pay for privates and stuff, and I just couldn't afford it at the time. So I talked to my big brother, Dallas Pascal. He actually got me the jobs in the club industry and kind of grew me to get to the position I was in that industry. And then he told me, if I wanted to fight, he put me in touch with the coaches over at the Fight Lab. And Coach Kelly really took me under his wing and started helping me with my striking. And, I showed up every day. And he kept teaching me, kept working with me. And then Jeremy Laughlin started guiding me with my jiu-jitsu. And my jiu-jitsu is still kind of lacking. I mean, because I wasn't really at one school. I would go to whatever open mat I could, watching YouTube videos, trying to apply it. Now I train it more consistently. So, but so my buddy Dallas, my big brother, he guided me everywhere. So if it wasn't for him, he also put me in touch with my strength and conditioning coach. And so all of my coaches provide a lot of input. And then Leroy Vasquez here obviously puts me in touch with a lot of other coaches to get work. It's hard for me to find training partners. Not so much now, because everyone wants to train with me now. But,
well, that's what I was going to ask, man. I know Jiu-Jitsu World heavyweights aren't readily available to roll with. You know what I mean? That's a common thread throughout. So do you have jiu-jitsu guys kind of lining up to come roll with you? Or, are you rolling with lesser guys or smaller guys?
Yeah, I go with a lot of smaller guys. It teaches me a lot of control. Luckily, my jiu-jitsu main jits coach, Jeremy Laughlin, he's a big guy. He's a heavyweight. So
good.
I roll with him. I've rolled Chris Roberson. Him and I roll a lot. And there's a big jutsu. I think we meet like once a week. There's a Facebook event about it. We pick a random gym, go there, and all the big guys get out there. We have like an open mat. It's awesome. So
that's cool, man. That's cool. Your competition side of all this stuff, man. What was it just a drive straight from wrestling? You knew, hey, I'm gonna go get this thing. I'm gonna go on pro. I mean, or was it just like, let me try this out? Or did you from the get go like, I'm gonna make it to the UFC?
Honestly, everyone says they want to make it to the UFC. Then getting hit in the face is a little different. So when I set out, I was like, you know what? I didn't think I was going to be able to find fights. So I'm like, all right, I'll do one amateur fight, then just go pro. Did one amateur fight, so I had, some stuff to work on. So I'm like, all right, I'll do a few more amateur fights. So originally I was going to do 5 amateur fights. And then after, my 4th one, it was just impossible to find opponents. People kept backing out. So at that point, I was like, all right, well, I know once I go pro, I was expecting probably a 2.5 to 3 year process before I made it to the UFC. And we noticed very quickly it was almost impossible to find fights as a pro as well. My first opponent, guy backed out. And it was supposed to be an amateur title fight, and guy backed out. So I went pro and fought a guy that was 0-2. And so after that, I won that fight in like a minute 11. Then my next fight was supposed to be against a guy that was like undefeated as an amateur, another top amateur prospect in Texas. He was going to make his pro debut against me, and he backed out. So I ended up having a fight. That's the fight you saw. Bryce, who was 4-3 at the time, with 10 amateur boxing, with 10 pro boxing fights as well.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, screw it all. We'll take the fight. And so me at 1-0 going against a guy with 8 MMA fights and 10 boxing fights was like whatever. So I beat him, and my next opponent was a guy who was 8-7. So he's got 15 pro MMA fights and a bunch of pro boxing fights as well. Beat him in like 4 minutes and something. Then they wanted to match me up against this guy that had like 40-something pro fights, and I was like, come on, man. So my manager was just like, I was gonna take the fight too. I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll fight anyone.
Yeah.
My manager stepped in and was like, no, you're not doing this. So we waited. So I was gonna try and fight again in April or May, and that's when Mick told me I had the Contender Series fight, and he said he was going to put me on the last week or last week at the time, and then they added another couple weeks or something in there. But he put me on for July 31st. So I had known about that fight since May, and I couldn't announce it or anything, but I also couldn't accept any other fights either. And I like to fight often. I if I could, I'd fight once a month, but they don't let me. So
yeah, man, that's pushing a little bit there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't take a lot of damage in my fights. They're all over pretty quick.
That's good. Yeah. What about your boy Greg Hardy coming in there? What do you think about him, man?
I mean, I think he's a joke. I don't think he's good at all.
So is it his matchups? They're trying to set him up to succeed?
So, all right, I've broken this down a couple of times, but so as an amateur, right, his first opponent was 42 or 43 years old. Next opponent was 40 years old.
Wow.
Third opponent was 37 years old. Like,
they're trying to build him up.
Yeah, and then as a pro, his first fight, the guy was 4-0. The dude walks around at 240. Greg Hardy walks around almost as big as me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah. You touch that guy, he's going out, And then his last opponent, everyone's seen his last opponent. Yeah, that guy was 3-0, but you look at the dude's like 6 foot and like not athletic at all, dude. It was a joke, man. He's had cake opponents. I think any of my last 3 opponents would wipe the floor with Greg Hardy.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's so that's not a fight you turn down then if they called.
Oh no, I wouldn't turn it down. But the fact of the matter, I mean, I'm in the UFC and he's not. So
yeah,
clearly they saw something that They saw something in me they didn't see in him.
That's the thing, man. You're just as athletic. Are you taller than he is?
No, we're the same height. I'm bigger than he is. I'm actually listed. He's listed on there. It just says athletic ability, and for me, it says generational athlete. So I'm better than he is. All right, period.
I like it, man. So who else out there? I mean, what's shaping up? Well, I mean, what does it look next? Who you wanting to get after?
Honestly, man, I don't care. They can put me right in the fire right now, throw me against the top 15, top 10 guy. If they want to build me slowly, I see that as easy fight bonuses, I'm ready. I've said it before, like, you can line them up in reverse order. I'll fight it one by one and just clean out the division. I don't care, I'm here to bring something new to it. I'm not out here asking for big money fights. I don't care. I just want to fight. I want to get in there. I want to fight. I want to entertain people. I want to bring this sport, back to people. I want people to enjoy it again.
What's funny, man, is I believe you. I believe every single word you're saying. I've been following you on social media, whatever, and you're absolutely one of the best followers I have. You're funny as shit, man. Some of the stuff's out there is crazy and outlandish, all that, but it's great. Yeah. And it's really, you can tell that it's just you and your personality, and you're rolling with it, having fun, which is great. But the thing is, like, much like fucking Conor McGregor, you're also backing it up. Yeah. I mean, you're a big, strong dude that anybody needs to pay attention to, man. And it's going to be, like I said, I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm ready for them to get me back out there. I'm already bugging Mick and Dana on them. And like, man, they just say LOL. And like, you just fought. Yeah, it wasn't even a month ago. I'm like, I don't care. Put me back out there. Give me another guy.
I seen, you were posting something on. You were trying to maybe be available to step in as a replacement or something like that. Yeah. What's coming up? Is there a big heavyweight card coming up that you're kind of eyeballing for that opportunity?
No, there's not really any I haven't seen any heavyweight matchups that they would really give me, but there's a couple cards coming up in November. I wanted to fight before the end of October, but I don't think that's going to happen. All those cards are filled up, and November, so it's looking like I might be able to get something for November, but I've made it pretty clear I want to fight before the end of the year. I usually fight 4 times a year. And I've only fought twice this year, so
we got the itch.
Yeah, I got the itch bad. It's
giving people stare down the grocery store when you get this man a fight.
Oh I've had less than 9 minutes total cage time this year, so I need more. I need more.
A lot of training for that 9 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does fight camp look like for you, man? Getting ready for these things.
It's brutal. So, like I said, we've do strength and conditioning 4 times a week. I do. My stand-up work 3 times a week, spar up to 3 times a week, the different levels of sparring, obviously. And then I've got, my groundwork 3 times a week as well. So I train every day, minimum of usually anywhere from 2 up to 4 sessions a day. Light days there are 2 sessions, and then like my off day is still either one really light strength and conditioning workout, or so my off days are just one workout. Usually on a Sunday, I just do one workout, and then I'll go for a real light jog just to keep my mind in it. But we work out a lot.
Yeah, I know it, man. Do you do anything for like body conditioning? Do you do any yoga, stretching?
I'm actually so Kinetic. Name's Kinetic Cairo. So there's a gym out in League City on Kinetic, and I go out there, and he just keeps my body right. He does all my mobility stuff, just making sure I'm firing on all cylinders. A lot of rehab, prehab, any nicks and bruises I get, I go to him. His name's Tyler Bowman. He owns, so there's that one out in League City, Kinetic, and then there's Avenue Fitness over here in West U. So I'm in West U on Wednesdays and usually League City on Saturdays. And, I mean, that was really the big difference between my the fight before this one and my last fight is we got really intense with him going twice a week. And, You know,
you felt the difference with it?
Yeah, because I've gone into pretty much every fight with an injury. And, even this last one, I was doing great up until like 2 weeks before I hurt my hand, and that's why I only threw straights in that fight. I didn't throw a single hook.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it looked good.
Yeah, it looked great, but it was.
They even commented on it. The commentators were like, "These are just straight hands. Look at him. He's rocking them straight hands." Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. But I'm all healed up now and still working with him, just keep everything healed up and tight, body firing, so I can do everything I need to do.
Yeah, man. When did you start doing that? Did you do that during wrestling, during your college career? Were you trying to do things to take care of the body and recovery and all that stuff?
Not really, man. And, I was in college. I was 18 to 23. That's when...
It's like Wolverine, everything healed.
Yeah, everything was healed, man. I had 2 surgeries in college, and both of them, as soon as they gave me the go-ahead to work out, I was...
Back on.
I had a shoulder scope, and they made me sit out 12 weeks. And right after the 12 weeks, we were maxing for setting the records, and I set like 3 new strength records, like right there. I was just, it's in that freaky recovery phase.
Yeah.
And then I hit about 25, and I was like, oh shit, stuff's starting to hurt now.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yep.
Well, speaking of strength, you do any powerlifting or anything? Did you ever get into any of that?
Yeah. So my strength and conditioning and athletics coach is Ryan Baker. He's online as the Cheat Meal on Instagram, and he's next level with all this stuff. It's crazy. I work out with him, and we went up to Denver for the first time with Landau, who's like cutting edge and everything.
Yeah.
And they're up there thinking, like, oh, there's no way this guy's going to be able to keep up. And I'm like smoking guys doing the workouts. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
So my trainer is, he knows what he's doing. He keeps me there. And it's just crazy. It's crazy now looking at the stuff I was doing when I started versus the stuff I do now, because I'm doing things that when I first started, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do that. And now I look back and I'm just like, oh, well, this isn't, it's not easy, but it's like I can do it.
You're seeing the progress. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Exactly.
Getting better. I love it. So what's the large scheme goals? I mean, is it the heavyweight title?
Yeah, obviously, man. Yeah, if I'm going to be doing something, I want to be the best at it. But like I said, man, I want to fight everyone, dude. I don't care if it's quick or slow. Like, I want to fight everyone. I want there to be no doubt at the end, and I want people to know, be behind me when I'm fighting. And so I'm ready for that. And ultimately, after that, I want to, I do a lot. I want to give back to the community. Obviously, I'm working on with Texas Children's now on setting something up, and I'm doing an event September 15th for injured veterans and stuff. So it's just little stuff, awesome, but I want to be able ultimately, to give back. I look at The Rock's Instagram, and I want to be that one day.
Yeah.
When I'm 47, that's what I want to be.
Dude, hey, that's a good goal, man. Yeah. You make it halfway there, you be doing something,
exactly.
Right, man? That's funny you say that, because I could see you on no bullshit. I could see you being a movie star, like some kind of WWE freaking wrestling.
Oh yeah, that would be a blast.
Yeah, that's funny, man. So talk a little bit about your personality. Where's all that come from? You're definitely kind of the opposite spectrum of the other Houston heavyweight, Derek Lewis, right? He seems a little more quiet and kept up, right? But
yeah. It came growing up. I was always kind of like kind of kept quiet. I was a big dude, you know. People like to mess with me a lot, and then once I hit about like 15, I was like, I'm just not gonna take this from people anymore. So that's when I started being more and more out there, just kind of doing. And I developed this attitude like, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, and people don't like it. If you can't whoop my ass, it doesn't matter. So it's so I do whatever I want, man. The more secure I became in who I was, the more out there shit I got. I like so. For the longest, even with my drinks, I'll go in there and drink the brightest colored, fruitiest cocktail you can think of.
Just dare somebody say something.
Yeah, and I love it. I'll go out there dancing. Me and my buddies, we went out with a group of friends, and we went to Pearl, and just like I was like tired of getting hit on that night. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go into Pearl. Like that's all. I don't have to worry about that in there. As soon as I stepped in, I was like, damn it, you know, they got me. But just having fun, man. I'm all about, and I'm up for whatever. So my friends always ask me, you know, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's give it a try. And if I don't like it, I don't do it again. But
yeah. So what else are you into outside of the training world? I mean,
man, I love sci-fi, fantasy, novels, shows, movies, all that. Like, I love it. Play a lot of Pokemon, man. I'm on Pokemon Go all the time. I do I'll probably walk 5 miles a day just playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, hatching eggs and stuff on there, doing it. Love coffee. You know, this past year, I've really gotten into coffee, trying different flavor profiles, taste profiles, all that stuff. I love it. So
what's your favorite you're kicking with right now?
Oh, I love Nitro, man. Nitro's that it's cold brew with a little extra kick in there.
Okay,
I like that. Then but I love latte art too. So I got a couple places I go. I don't want to tell everybody, you know. I don't want people showing up in my spots, drinking all the good stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I got you.
Keep that one a little low key under wraps. But yeah, third wave coffee. My favorite. I definitely prefer South American blends as opposed to, you know, the African blends, Ethiopian. I really. If I had to rank them, it would be like South America, then like Ethiopia, then Southern Sudan. I don't like. I like them all better than like Folgers, but
So what? How does one get into coffee? Was it just the taste, and you tried another blend, and you're like, what is this?
Once you drink enough of it, you can start to differentiate different stuff, the strength.
It's like a good wine or whatever. Wine.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there's like pour overs, and there's the Chemex, and there's Kalita. It's all about the different filters. You know, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
You know? And I was just enlightened on all this stuff this past year.
So can we look forward to a Kraken blend coming soon?
Maybe one day, man. If I'm actually thinking about opening up a donut and coffee shop somewhere down the road, but you know, we got to make that money first. So I'm trying to fight so often.
Yeah,
I want to fight.
I need to get this man some fights.
Yeah.
Man, there was you say all that. There was a show, I don't know if you've ever seen it on like Travel Channel or something like that, where a dude went out and found exotic coffees. It was like Coffee Hunter or something, Ground Hunter or something like that. It was actually a pretty good show. Like, I'm not a big coffee drinker, and I'm not big into it or whatever. But yeah, this dude traveled the world looking for these coffee beans and shit. But yeah, pretty interesting. You might want to look that up.
I'll have to get into it. I already do like coffee with coffee cone cracking and cocktails cone cracking, Kaga cone cracking. That's my toilet stories on Instagram. Those are my favorite ones to do. I rate my poops.
Yeah. There was a 3.6 today, huh?
Yeah, it was a 3.6. You know, the amount of effort to the size was disproportionate, and I was not happy with that poop. I was expecting a lot more out of it, and I did not feel the relief that one should feel with a truly good poop.
That's awesome. Dude, hey, that's what's making you stand out, man. I love it. So where's your restaurant spots around Houston? Where's your go-tos?
Man, used to be State Fair, not so much now. I mean, you know, it's weird because I like trying new stuff. So like Boss Cat Kitchen, love that place. State Fair, Starfish, I like them. Going to Just Mac tomorrow night for trying that place out. All these different crepe spots in the Heights. That's the problem. The main gym I do my strength and conditioning at is in the Heights. There's just so much good stuff everywhere. I'm just like, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Why not? But then I also like, I'm down with the dirty foods. Like Taco Bell is like, it's sent from heaven. You know, that's the nectar and ambrosia of the gods right there.
You and my 13-year-old will get right along with that.
Oh yeah, dude. I love me some Taco Bell, and I also love CC's Pizza. That's my.
That's your jam, huh?
Usually, like once a week, I'm in CC's. My trainer, I gotta stop now.
What does the manager's face look like when you walk in CC's? That way he's like, oh shit.
The one I usually go to, I'm pretty sure the dude is gay, so he like lights up when I walk.
Oh yeah,
makes me a little uncomfortable. But hey, he's cool, man. You know, he's never outwardly hit on me. I caught him checking me out a few times, but we're good. You know, we're good. We're boys. We got a mutual respect there.
There you go. There you go, man. What's your Lone Star podcast, right? So I'm gonna hit you some questions about Texas. Where besides Houston, where's your favorite spots to hit up around the state?
Ooh, I like Austin just because I found out they have a Taco Bell cantina there. That's why. So Austin got some bonus points there. You know, I got one of my half brothers lives up in Dallas. My only half brother lives up in Dallas. So I've been there a couple of times. It's nice. San Antonio is a real cool spot as well. But then other than that, like, Galveston, obviously. There's stuff. Anywhere there's stuff to do is where I like. I don't like rural parts of Texas too much. Trying to stay away from. Trying to stay away from.
Cowboy hat and boots kind of guy, and
no, I wear boots. Cowboy hats don't fit. I got the afro, but like I like boots. I love my jeans, boots, all that stuff. It's just that. You know, I train so much, I don't have a whole lot of energy, and then you got to drive pretty far. Texas is huge, man.
I know it, man. I know it. There's a couple rodeo guys like to give you for steer wrestling, man, your size. All the big boys are steer wrestlers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You've been to Houston Rodeo, right?
Yeah, I've gone. I go every year, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Great, cheap date spot, you know.
Perfect, man, perfect. What spots you hitting up down in Galveston? You just go down to the beach and hang out?
Yeah, I got a jet ski, so I normally go down there and just shred a little bit for like an hour, then I'm over it, and then
dude,
then I'm getting drunk.
Yeah, you say that. My buddy just bought a pair a couple weeks ago, like a month or so ago, right? And he called me up, hey man, got some jet skis, you want to go? And I'm like, well, hell yeah, who doesn't want to go on jet skis? Rode them some bitches for like 4 hours. I was sore as shit. I had bruises all over my legs and all that stuff around that thing in the bay. I was like, golly. Yeah, man, when you go down there, we'll have to get together down there. I went to school at A&M Galveston. So I know a lot of cool spots down there. And then same thing, I live in League City. Okay. So when you go down and do your hits on Saturday.
Yeah, there's this place down there I want to check out. It's called Tight Ends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love a lot of talent.
I love the women. You know,
that's a good spot to be. That's a good spot to be. So, speaking of.
No, Lord, yeah.
You got to beat them off with a stick now or what? I mean, what's changed?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 6'5", you know, different looking, got an afro, and pro athlete. So, you know. But now it's just, man, I went on like, I would keep it. I don't want to put all my secrets out there, you know, but these damn dating apps it's a problem because like I have to delete them during fight camps because I get distracted pretty easily. But I downloaded them like right after the fight, and it's just been like I was over it like after a week. But it's just it takes the fun out of a lot of it, man. You know, and they can like constantly. I don't like people being able to like constantly contact me. And now like usually a lot of girls see my social media and like kind of be scared off from it a little bit. Yeah. But no, I mean it's all, you know, you just gotta take it as it goes. I'm not really looking to be like, you know, ball and chain just yet. You know, I'm really more focused on my career right now. Yeah. So I'm at a point where if it take any of them become a distraction or it gets to a point where, you know, it's interrupting my training or my daily routine, because I'm very in love with my
routine
oriented. I love my routine. I love my me time. I love doing the stuff that I like to do. Yeah. And if you trying to interrupt that, you know, it's not.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
So I'll just. So I don't like beat them off with a stick. I just kind of like, I'm really just like really indifferent most of the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't chase. I have a saying, like, 2 things I don't chase are shots and women, you know.
Words to live by, my friend. Words to live by. What's your go-to spots here in nightclubs ish?
Oh Lord, man. So I hit up 360 Midtown, like you just smell old haunt, you know, and then Clay, obviously, and then I like dive bars a lot, man. So I go to the Cellar Bar a lot, probably more than I should. Nah, it's not even like they got a little jukebox in there, darts, pool, a little punching machine, and I just go there, chill with the bartenders, you know, get 2 or 3 and then roll out.
10-4. I seen you were at Daisy Dukes the other day.
Yeah. Fun. So that's actually, I worked there when it was still Rebels. That's the first bar I ever bounced at regularly. And so I go there and I hang out all the time. One of my buddies is a bartender there. I go there and hang out a lot.
That night, was there a girl there playing?
Probably, yeah.
Live music, did you pay attention to her at all? Or did you see? I'm pretty sure that night Bree Bagwell was playing. And she's been on the podcast. She's a country music girl.
I know she was cute. I just wasn't.
She's big tall blonde, man. She's about 5'11", 6 foot. She's pretty close. But yeah, she's been on the podcast before. Is the only reason why. And I saw her. She was posting about being at Daisy Dukes, and then sure enough, later on, you're like at Daisy Dukes, and I'm like, well, shit, look, they're in the same spot, and they don't even know. Yeah, it's crazy, man. The 5-year plan. You think championship belt in 5 years?
Oh yeah, definitely. I should have it probably before then. You know, I'm really good. So
yeah. So that's what's crazy, man. You're 26. I mean, you go 10-year career and you're 36. Heavyweight, you're just rolling into prime. You know what I mean? That's what's exciting about what you got ahead of you, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Do you have any plans to? Any changes to the routine? I mean, once you get some money, start rolling in. You got any plans to open a gym or
I want to build. I do want to ultimately build like a mega gym type deal, and I want to give other guys an opportunity. One thing I notice a lot of MMA fighters, they just can't catch a break. You know, a lot of guys I knew coming up paved the way for me. You know, never really got a break because they never could train properly. You know, I want to be there. You know, make something to give other people the same opportunities that I had. And, I really do believe that. And even if they don't want to pursue it professionally, it's a great outlet. You know, I see a lot of kids. I used to do an outreach program when I was in college.
What was that?
The summers. It was called the College Orientation Workshop.
Okay.
The CAL program. It's founded by an alumni named Eugene Williams, and he always had that vision, and just being a part of it for 3 summers really taught me a lot. But connecting with those kids, I could show, whenever I would show them, techniques or talk to them about MMA and just kind of show them a little bit about wrestling. A lot of them have never experienced it before. So I feel like just showing people that, showing them something new, and, that's a new avenue, a new possibility for them. So a new outlet, And, I think that would be good, start an after-school program or something like that. And
absolutely.
Be able to give back,
Absolutely. There's a lot of athletes I see, man, that I'm just like, you would make a good fighter. Like, you just, you see them, they got the build, long arms, and, or powerful for their weight size and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm just like, you ever thought about fighting? No, why would I do that?
Exactly.
Some people are into it, some are not. Wrestling seems to be a natural transition in MMA, same with boxing. But I know where I went to school, we didn't have wrestling. That wasn't, wasn't offered or anything like that. And, so, yeah, it's like you said, it's an outlet that's not widely available or people think of. They want to put their kids in karate or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And not necessarily in training, which is why I enjoy what Cheeks and them do down there, man. He does all that work with them kids.
Yeah.
And he's got 30 kids in there, and they're all straight working combos and knees and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. And it's really exciting to watch those kids because they also get better.
Yeah.
And you can see the progress, the adult class is after the kids class, and you kind of walk in there and you can see, they do a little sparring at the end or something like that, and you see the kids get better, over the months. And it's pretty exciting to watch, but it's also a cool thing. So that's good, man. Where did what's the drive to kind of do the charitable side of it? I mean, why are you kind of pushing that so much?
It's like I said, I was provided a lot of opportunities that otherwise I wouldn't have been able to have. So for I grew up South Park, Houston, Yellowstone area. It's like right next to Third Ward. Sunnyside's outside the loop. I was right inside of it, and luckily for myself and my brother, we tested out of like normal public schooling. So we got to go to Roberts Elementary through a magnet program. It doesn't exist anymore, but at the time it was there. And then, we tested in T.H. Rogers, which is a GT and Vanguard school. It's a magnet school. It's still technically public school. Both of those are still public schools, but we were in different programs.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I was lucky enough to test high enough on the entrance exam to get a scholarship. And then my last 2 years, an older alumni actually paid my tuition there, paid my scholarship, and that allowed me another opportunity. So all those are charitable acts. And, a lot of the stuff I did was a lot of volunteer work was required at Strake. Their main mantra is being men for others, and then I'm an Eagle Scout as well, so I had to do a service project for that. And then at VMI, a lot of, if you were not commissioning, your field training exercises were usually community service oriented. So, charity and service and giving back to the community has always been a very big part of my life, and it had an impact for me, and I would like to provide that and give another child or other people a chance for it to impact their life as well.
That's awesome, man. That's a really cool story. And I hope you get every opportunity, because that'd be pretty special, man. Do you have any other goals or ambitions outside of fighting, as possibly like for example, I have a friend of mine who played the NFL for a couple of years, and now he does Highland game competitions, the Scotland, like throwing poles and shit like that. Like,
dude, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, he goes around throwing telephone poles and shit. But anyway, so he got into that. Is there any other kind of athletic ambition that you have outside of, is everything just fighting right now?
Everything's just fighting right now for me, honestly, man. I've said, I'd want to do like movies or like TV shows and stuff. Ultimately, I want to I'm real petty too, so like I got materialistic. I want to buy a helicopter just so I can like mess with people that have wronged me. Like I want to fly over my ex's house at like 3 a.m.
And just hover there for like 10 minutes.
And just mess with them. Get an island and declare myself king. Stuff like that. Just doing stupid stuff. That's
great. Humble Island is what we'll call it.
Yeah, Humble Island. That's what, and I'll be the king of it. That's what I want to do. So just little stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. So have you pursued acting or anything in that realm yet?
It's funny. I've always done. So when I was in college, I did a lot of the videos for the Southern Conference. I was one of their main little subjects to do videos on, and so I did a lot of talking roles in that. I've never really done any shows or anything like that. I've been in the news a couple times and little stuff like that, but I've done a lot of public speaking. It's just not a lot of acting. Yeah. But, there's always a role for that somewhere. I can be an extra somewhere.
Dude, more than that, there's not a lot of 6'5" athletic guys that are as charismatic as you are. It'd be a natural transition. I'm trying to think of all the MMA guys that have gone over to act in any capacity.
I'd like to be an analyst or something, to get my own show, or like I'm thinking about starting a podcast. One of my boys down here. It's just the time. My thing is right now, I like training so much. So every time I have energy, I'm like, I'm gonna go work out. Go do something.
Well, shoot, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's for sure. The podcast life's easy. I'm call it easy, right? It took me about a week to figure everything out, and I'm not a audio engineer or anything. I'm a plant worker out here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And but I think he'd be great at it. Yeah. I think he'd be real awesome at it. And it's pretty, like I said, about a week worth of setting stuff up and figuring it out, and get you a nice quiet spot start rolling. Take your microphone into the shitter.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be fun.
Thoughts with Kraken. I love it. Where did the nickname come from?
So I drink Kraken rum.
Okay.
A lot. You know, it's
A lot.
a lot of it. So that's what I was always drinking. And my buddy Dallas, you know, for one of his fights, he was gonna go by the name Cthulhu, and he said, if I'm Cthulhu, you should be the Kraken. And then it kind of stuck, you know. He started calling me that from time to time. And then, and when we were rolling, people were saying it's just, you know, arms, legs coming out of nowhere. And it's just big, insurmountable force.
Yeah.
So it just stuck from there. And then it just, you know, dragging in deep waters. And then I got a hold of it on social media and just kind of took off.
Oh, it's a great nickname.
Yeah.
Great nickname. What's that shirt I seen, or the little cartoon design I seen?
Yeah. This guy, he does it for a lot of like pro fighters or actors and stuff. And he got one on mine, and no, I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'll make a shirt out of that. It looks dope. And we got another shirt design coming out. That another guy that I've always done. He's been with me from day one. You know, he's watched me fight as an amateur, so they're doing a line of shirts for me too. But this one, I love it. I love the design. I want to play with a bunch of different colors for it, and then so I got one guy doing them now, and then eventually I'll probably move on to this other guy that does a little bit nicer material. It'll cost a little bit more, but it'll be better quality shirts.
Yeah,
you know,
you're gonna get your website and all that stuff going.
Yeah, eventually. Right now, it's all Venmo and PayPal. Square Cash makes me feel like a drug dealer, so I don't really mess with that one too much.
That's good, man. Well, we'll wrap this thing up. I'll get you out of here. You got anybody you want to call out or give shout out to or anything?
Yeah, man, I call out, you know, the whole division. You know, it'll be fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about having fun. You know, these fights, I think any of those fights will be a fun fight for me right now, especially, you know, some of these lesser named guys. We get out there, we can get out there, you know, get a whole little press tour for us. It'll be fun. That's what I'm looking forward to. And the other thing, I definitely got to thank my sponsors. You know, Jet Hot Premium Coatings. They've done a lot for me. Day one, I love all their gear. They do car stuff, so I know we're in Texas. Everyone here likes to juice up their cars, hit up Jet Hot, look them up. They do some really dope stuff. And FlemingAttorneys.com, Houston's premier personal injury attorneys. They've been with me this past year a lot too, so just looking forward to it. And and then obviously my strength and conditioning coach, Ryan Casey Baker, at the Cheat Meal on Instagram, and Kinetic Cairo on Instagram, Dr. Tyler Bowman. Then obviously my gyms, the Fight Lab and Paradigm Training Center. Paradigm Training Center has been my home gym forever. You know, my teammates here. They're part of my team, and my Fight Lab family, they're part of my team as well. So
awesome, man. Where can everybody check you out on the gram?
On the gram, Chosen Juan, not one, Chosen Juan 285. You know, I post a lot on there. It'll be something you like eventually. So you'll find something you like on there. For the ladies, I post a lot of shirtless stuff on there. So I look pretty good.
Love it, man. Well, Juan, I really appreciate it, brother, and I really am excited to see where you go with this thing. I think sky's the limit. You got all the opportunity in the world in front of you. I think it's going to be really fun watching you over these next few years and on your way up through the heavyweight division. It'll be a lot of fun. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Everybody, y'all have a good one.